great news is the pipeline is getting stronger and bigger. So it's really going to allow us to do more with less. It's all actually going to even allow us to work on scalability as it comes through with the pipeline. So it's a great tool to utilize. It's been a tool that's been used worldwide in a lot of major companies. The other thing too is I can just kind of shift my attention to Danny. Danny, despite being flooded and just flooded with Post-its during the last 2 months, he's shown that he is a remarkable, bright, and hunger for thirst as far as for knowledge. And it's been a pleasure to work with Danny these past 2.5 months. Couldn't have done the work that we did here in these 2 months here without Danny's involvement. So thank you very much, Danny. It's been great, and I'll turn it over to you for the presentation. Go ahead.
Thank you, Oscar. Thank you, everyone. It feels like a family reunion almost, like everyone's here, and I see some faces, and I would like to say thank you, really, from the bottom of my heart for this opportunity, for meeting such great people. Just some information about me. My name is Danny McLane. I graduated, well, I haven't graduated, into existence. I'm going into my senior year at San Jose State, majoring in industrial and systems engineering. So, originally I'm from Richmond, California, not too far from here. And the reason I'm here, like Oscar said, is I'm here to basically laying out the system of Project Frog and to help out with the BSM sessions and those efforts to basically better, the business here that we all have. So, moving on. What we'll talk about first is what is value stream mapping. I'll give everyone a basic understanding. As of right now, I know all you see is Post-it notes and people in the brighter room running around, so I'll give some information about that. Then I'll talk about the steps that we took to actually create an efficient system. First by creating or taking down a as-is snapshot of how business is today, right now, at Project Frog. Once we have that snapshot, we look for improvements. How can we improve the business here? And we take those improvements and we apply them to a future state to create a more efficient system where you can do more with less and basically, save time, energy, and money. And then I'll go over my conclusions and takeaways. So first things first, Project Frog value stream mapping. What is VSM? It's basically creating a visual understanding of your information and material flow from an end-to-end process. So our scope was Fremont Irvington. We looked at this product line from BD until the kids actually sat in the seats. So we sat down with BD, we sat down with pre-con design, and actually figured out what is it that you do. There were 3 steps that we walked through. Like I just said, our current state, creating a as-is picture of how business is today, right now. Set ideas, right ideas. To fix it. Third thing we did was map and implement a future state. A future state is your ideal business, how you would like business to run, where you save up to 20% of your waste. That is our objective right now, to save up to 20% of our waste. To streamline the process and to add value ultimately to our future state and where we want to be in the future. So to do this, let's bring it back. To do this, we needed to collect some information, a few bits of information. One example that really helps me is this mark. Helps me a lot to understand this process. If my job is to create green markers and assemble green markers, what do I use?
Cap.
Green cap. Plastic. Ink. And my hand, exactly, a skilled, handsome. 4 of those things will be your key inputs. This is what I need to produce my step and actually do my job. So lead time and cycle time, we also collected. Lead time is if I have all my inputs, how long does it take me to assemble them? If I go talk to Kimberly and I go use the bathroom, it includes all of that time. Cycle time is if I stand here all day and all I do is connect this, assemble it, send it on to the next step. Then we looked at, is this step value or non-value? Did it change the form? Did it change the fit? And did it change the function? So we looked at this as information flowed from one process to the next. And are there any gaps? A gap is, okay, my job is to assemble this. Well, sometimes I don't get a cap, so I can't do my job. Or sometimes they send me a red cap, so I can't do my job. So those are very important. You'll find out later in this presentation. And we also collected labor hours required. Your key output is an assembled green marker, where you can pass on to the next step, and ultimately down the line into your finished product. So to give you a big picture, and to step back, we've done this with every department except for finance. We've collected every step that they do, what's next, every step for every department. And these are some of the big points that come out of our research. Total number of 134 steps end to end within Project Flow, not including finance. So finance adds more steps. So what does that mean? You have 36 non-value add steps. That is direct waste. That is waste in your system that does not add value. The customer is not willing to pay for it, and it's actually dollars walking out of the door. Then gaps. As I mentioned before, you have 274 gaps. So 274 things that are stopping you from doing your job correctly or doing your job on time. Some of those examples of those gaps, no pre-con directory. I know pre-con and everyone else can agree with that. Internal kickoff from BD and pre-con, P&I, is prior to your contract, prior to the contract. 2-bit risk, schematic drawings by P&I are initiated prior to contract award. And also the shop drawings are released prior to DSA approval. So those are two very big risks for your business. So that is a big picture view. I only have about 15 more minutes, so we'll have to focus on just one department. Luckily, that department is supply chain. We found a lot of opportunities within supply chain. So we'll focus on that. So mapping your current state. As I told you before, our first step is to map the current state. What are you doing now? How do you do it? Tell us all the bad things, deep, dark secrets, and let's work from there and find the opportunities. Here are the facts that we found. A total number of 54 steps end to end. So if I could say that, if you can call, if a word comes to mind, it should be churn. 54 steps end to end. 9 of those were non-value add, direct waste walking out of the door, and that's bad business. You do not want that. 87 gaps. I picked the word opportunity because your gaps are where you find your opportunities. And the infamous Post-it notes. I tell you, let me tell you something. When I went home, I would find Post-it notes in my shoe. That's enough always. And it became a mess. It was a mess. It was a total mess. This
guy.
So my point is, so what we found was this was a manual-driven process where if a person or worker did not do the work was not done. That means that a lot of work was basically done twice, or not done efficiently, or later, a lot of back and forth information, and a lot of back and forth things going on. So it's not good business, and again, it's waste that we want to cut out completely. Here is one specific step that we found was non-valued, is get submittals from vendor for P&I review. You see here it has a lot of inputs, a lot of gaps, a lot of outputs. Ultimately, it was not necessary at all. Now, this is something that may have been going on for years now, but we're just now finding it. So I would like to say, there's a story to be told by examining the current state. You find out your gaps, you find out your weaknesses, and you also find out your strengths. So what are some more big highlights of supply chain? DSA approved drawings after manufacturing release. Lack of upstream involvement, numerous manual entries, long lead time for shop drawings, and unsophisticated component receipt process at site. These are all churn. These all create a tired team, and you do not want that. So this picture really embodies what's going on. This is supply chain. It's okay because this is what we're going to improve on. We're very tired. You make it to the finish line. You actually do your job, but you're tired. You're exhausted because you're going over, you're repeating steps, extra work. We want to be this guy. We want to be him. He's cool. He has the glasses, shoes match, his socks match his shoes, his shirt. So we want to be him. Be more efficient. Be more lean as we move forward. So I keep saying, eliminate waste throughout supply chain, and that is exactly what we've done. Our next step was to sit down. This is actually my favorite step. As a team, once we sat down and we figured out, okay, this is what you're doing, this is what we're doing. We see the problems, what are the problems, let's fix it. Let's come up with some bright ideas. And that's what we did. You see Oscar, he's thinking, man, how can we do this? Let's do it. Everyone's on the same page. See Kimberly and Jamie, they're deep in thought. Madison is serious. Leon even rolled up, the new guy, even rolled up his sleeves and seen what can he do differently, how can he add value. And when, but I will actually tell you, if you have time, ask Will to play for you. He played for us here at the Blue Bar. He's a great musician. But actually, everyone was on the same page. It took some time, but we were on the same page. And we came in there and we came up with some great ideas. Some very great ideas. Okay, so here are the results from our brainstorming session. We walked in here with a few themes. Be interactive. We want everybody to be interactive, create a team culture within this session. No idea is a dumb idea. So contribute any idea you may have that may better our business. And this is what came up. And this is directly from your supply chain. These are the direct notes that they wrote on the Post-its. And I'll read them out for you. Establish sophisticated warehouse and distribution center. Project forecast to supply chain. Use more sophisticated software than Spitfire. Nobody likes Spitfire. Have one system that tracks everything from your RFP to the end of your payment, to when everything is paid. Then project management needs to include supply chain. Speaks for itself. Opportunities lie in gaps. Where there are gaps, there are opportunities, as we see now. So where we have gone from here is we created our current state, we've seen the inefficiencies, we came up with some great ideas, and now we have objectives for improvement. So these are things that we're looking now to implement into future state and create a more lean system where we can do more with less. And that's what we've done. So PLM is something that we would like to implement. This is where we can own our shop jobs, own our shops. Scoping and takeoff done upstream in PLM and eliminates weak lead time, approval and critical path. Second thing is adding an ERP system, which actually does the workflow for our supply chain. Here are the benefits: eliminates manual entries, consolidates and stores information. This actually by itself eliminated about 30 or maybe 27 steps from our process from 54 to 27, that ERP system. So it's very powerful. It is very essential for the success of Project Flow. Another thing is MSA, implement MSA. Would help everyone and it would definitely help supply chain. And also implement a sophisticated barcode system into your business. So at the end of the day, we converted 87 gaps within just supply chain. We converted 87 gaps into 4 main points of improvement. As I said before, these are things that we will implement into supply chain. So, more post-notes. But really, now we've condensed our 54-step process into just 17 steps. 17 steps. So if you want to get to here, and you're starting at step 1, you definitely want to take 17 steps rather than 54. And that includes the SC ERP, including a lot of other things that I have mentioned. So a lean future state map is what you see here as a result of our supply chain. Now I want to add that this is not my idea. We came every session, we sat down, we were facilitators. Me and Oscar, we played the part of facilitators. And all of the ideas came from your supply chain. We just facilitated environment to actually find out what we can do better. So as you can see, it's sort of blurry. You can find it on the X drive, but this is the new, improved future state Project Frog, or not Project Frog, or supply chain. 37 steps removed, as I said before. That allows you to focus more on value engineering with your suppliers. You also are able to qualify more vendors with this extra time that you have, only 17 steps. PL now owns shop drawings, and shop drawings through PLM. That's through your PLM system. And you have improved project management and tracking with your new ERP system. So we see the impact of these tools and everything that we have found, and it's definitely changed supply chain for the better. So we've reached our goal. Do more with less. Do more with less. Do more with less is what we aim to. So what are the next steps? What are the next steps? Complete future state with all departments. As of now, we've started with supply chain. We still have more. We've started also with BD and pre-con, I believe, also. Validate and document future states, develop action plans to implement future state, and implement those action plans. Now, I won't be here for the rest of the fight, but I do believe that everyone here has the ability to actually carry out these action plans for the best, and I believe I have nothing but confidence. So, now you see this is the way to be a lean green frog, or a lean mean frog. And it lies here. So my conclusion is I'm so, like I said before, I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful that I was able to actually be a part of Project Frog, even if it was for 10 weeks. It really changed my life, and you know, I never would have thought that I would be the person to walk into a company and actually have some type of influence or impact on anything. So the fact that I'm here with great people, I feel like it rubbed off on me, and you know, everything, the skills that I've learned, the organization, the leadership, it's really changed my life, and that's something I'll carry on for the rest of my life. And I continue to develop, and you know, I'm so thankful. As I said, I would like to thank Oscar. I couldn't have done it without you, so thank you. And every other champion that's leading these type of efforts, I really want to thank you. I also want to thank Nikki, who's always been so helpful. She was always helpful. And I remember the first time I got the email about an internship, I called her, I'm like, where, when? And she answered, she was so nice. I came here, the rest is history. I also want to thank you, Rich, for allowing us interns here. You know, we really value it, and you know, just the opportunity to get our foot in the door and have some type of experience. It's life-changing, and I really, really thank you for that. Thank you. That's it.
Question?
Well, Danny, you've been such, I think, an amazing presence to have here this summer, and you know, working so hard, and it's been such, I think, so great for all of us, just for you to come in with your energy every day. And I think as a dedication, you know, as a testament to your work, I don't know if everyone knows that not only Danny is missing his first day of senior year to be here for his presentation today, and it's his 22nd birthday today. Cupcake. You can blow out the invisible candle. Right? Happy birthday.
Are there any questions?
Great.
Thank you.
I can say for BD, we sort of started the process a little bit begrudgingly and sort of wondering what application would have to us because we weren't we weren't in the sort of initial, couldn't understand it. And then I think we came out of the process really seeing exactly, those gaps and understanding it in a way that we hadn't before. Kind of dreamed up some good forward future steps, so I really appreciate it.
That's great. I also think we learned a good lesson with how do you keep a bunch of people in a room for hours on end? You did that well.
Exactly. Thank Oscar for that.
Yeah, you know.
Thank you.